Hello everyone, Amnesia here, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. This isn't going to be a cast. This is just a quick scouting tip for the PvZ matchup. Also could probably work for TvZ. And this is just specifically for Ruins of Seras. So this is a quick scouting tip I've seen a couple of pro players do, and I've been using it lately, and it's been working out pretty well. So obviously this is a big map. It takes a while to scout all 4 positions, and if you pick the last spot, it can be really devastating to trying to figure out what kind of play your opponent's going for. So what this does is this takes advantage of the fact that most Zerg players are going to scout horizontal positions first. So they're going to send their initial overlord down, so they're going to want to scout from here to here. With their first overlord, with their second overlord, they're going to send it horizontal position, so from here to here. And the idea behind this is that by scouting their overlord instead of scouting them, you can figure out where they are and scout them sooner. So the first thing you're going to do is at 110 is when this overlord, it's actually like 108 that you first be able to see this overlord. So at 110 we're going to send a probe down here to this cliff, and if we can see an overlord down here, then our Zerg player is obviously spawning down in vertical positions straight to the south. So if you're doing like a Nexus first build, you can send this probe out right after you set up your expansion. So this probe comes down here. This is where you'd see the overlord about right here, maybe a little bit over a little bit, but we give a little bit of cushion there to make sure that this overlord would be visible. So we send him out there, and at a really high level of play, a lot of Zerg players like to just poke up just far enough to see a probe or an assimilator real quick, and then they back off. Then the next position we're going to scout, we're going to send this straight down here. Now the big thing to note is what we're doing is we're coming down to this Zelnaga watchtower. So we'll speed it up a little bit so we can get down here and we can talk about this when he gets here. So this is the point here. At 145, assuming, let's say that our Zerg player is spawning down here in the bottom right. So at 145, we're going to have this overlord visible right about here. It takes 35 seconds to walk from here to this watchtower, which lines up perfectly. So if you scout this cliff at 110, 35 seconds later you'll be here. This overlord will be walking in at about 145. So that would be if the Zerg player sends his second overlord to horizontal positions. If the Zerg player sent his first overlord to horizontal positions, you're still going to catch him as long as your probe is down here by 2 minutes, which we are, and this was about 16 seconds late that my initial scout was. So this overlord, you'd be able to catch the overlord whether he's spawning in bottom left or bottom right, as long as the Zerg player is sending out a scouting overlord. So we come down here. If we still don't see an overlord, then we can pretty much guess it's not here, because that means that the Zerg player has sent out a scouting overlord in either north or east. So he hasn't sent it out vertical or horizontal. So this is like a Zerg player who doesn't really want a scout, or he's going to send out a drone scout perhaps, and is really metagaming what he's going to do with his overlords. So we can very safely assume that the Zerg player isn't here. Our next guess then would be right here, because we can pretty much assume that he isn't over here. So we're going to send our next the next place we're going to scout is up in this top right corner, and this should be the last place you have to scout. As soon as you get up here, you should see the Zerg player, because like I said, we haven't seen their overlords for coming from any of the other positions. So it's just a quick little tip. The only time it can really backfire, I guess, is if a Zerg doesn't scout at all with their overlords, and that could be, then you could actually increase your scouting time quite a bit, but I haven't seen that yet. This has worked out really well for me on this map, getting a much quicker scout off, which is nice if you like to play greedy on this map, because a lot of Zerg players metagame against that, and they build some really quick pools, and that can really, really hurt you on this map. But hope this helps you guys out. Like I said, I think this would work just fine for Terran too. I can't imagine why it wouldn't. But leave a comment, let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next time.